Hit Squad. That's a pretty girl Woo! Yeah, yeah. Gabby B. Spitfire, that's some pretty girl shit. TikTok, that's a pretty girl flick. Dressed to the nines, that's a pretty girl fit. In the club, popping bottles with some pretty girl. Yeah, that's some pretty girl shit. Yeah, we so pretty girl lit. Yeah, that's some pretty girl shit. In the club, popping bottles with some pretty girl. You know it's a party every time we step in. When we here to turn up, best get to step in. Buy me a shot, who we think he impressing. I got my own bag, I don't need you obsessing. Feeling myself while I'm tipping on this liquor. Got me feeling like I'm Millie with my hands up to the ceiling. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And when my baddies we popping off, we looking good, you can get enough. Dancing with my girlfriends, chilling, we vibing. Shake my body to the music, we grooving. Can't keep his eyes off the way I'm moving. Yeah, yeah. I like the look in his eyes when I want it. He knows he don't have a chance, so he want it. I'm here for the music and the music only. When it takes over, can no one control me? Spitfire, that's some pretty girl shit. TikTok, that's a pretty girl flick. Dressed to the nines, that's a pretty girl fit. In the club, popping bottles with some pretty girl. Yeah, that's some pretty girl shit. We so pretty girl lit. Yeah, that's some pretty girl shit. In the club, popping bottles with some pretty girl lit.
Pretty girl lips, pretty girl hips, pretty girl fit, pretty girl dip, pretty girl shit. For my pretty girls headed to the dance floor. My bad, like what they need my man for. We keep them looking it, we cooking as hot as lava. We like to party, it's sounding popping like la di da da. We don't need nada, we independent, we bout $1. We getting commas, we rockin' products, so tell them holla. L-R-E-double-T-Y. Boss vibes when we startin' on guard. Running this field, couldn't thumb on my fly. It's not a surprise, cause we one of a kind. Now if you pretty, put your hands in the air one time. If you pretty from your head to your toe. If you pretty inside out, then it's no doubt. Baby girl, you already know, let's go.
Spitfire, that's some pretty girl shit. TikTok, that's a pretty girl flick. Dressed to the nines, that's a pretty girl fit. In the club, popping bottles with some pretty girl. Yeah, that's some pretty girl shit. We so pretty girl lit. Yeah, that's some pretty girl shit. In the club, popping bottles with some pretty girl lit.
Pretty girl lit, pretty girl hit, pretty girl fit, pretty girl dip, pretty girl shit.
Dressed to the nines, that's a pretty girl fit. In the club, popping bottles with some pretty girl lit.
Pretty girl lit, pretty girl hit, pretty girl fit, pretty girl dip, pretty girl shit.
Dressed to the nines, that's a pretty girl fit. In the club, popping bottles with some pretty girl lit. Yeah, that's some pretty girl shit. We so pretty girl lit. That's some pretty girl shit. In the club, popping bottles with some pretty girl lit. Yeah, that's some pretty girl shit. We so pretty girl lit. Yeah, that's some pretty girl shit. In the club, popping bottles with some pretty girl lit.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe.
On
Thursday.
a windy Thursday in the studio.
You know, this is the last Thursday before Memorial Day.
Yes, it is. It's the last
It's so
Thursday
silly.
in May, actually, which
Is it?
hard to believe. We're going right into June, into summer season.
It'll be Christmas next week.
So don't mistake everyone's fan blowing hair as we're outside in the breeze. We're just trying to keep the studio cool in the South Florida heat.
You got more fans than you do cameras in.
I know. That's because I'm 55. No matter where I sit in the studio, I need to make sure I'm comfortable.
21 hurricanes are being predicted for this year.
Thank you.
and 99 degrees is going to be the average temperature in Florida.
So if we blow enough fans, maybe we'll keep the hurricanes off our shores, is all I can
You
tell
have
you.
to go to Canada or something to do this show. It's
You
too
just got to
hot.
have faith and believe
It's
that
too
we're all
freaking hot
good.
down here.
I know. Happy
I like
Thursday.
hot. Me too. I'm miserable. It's
I
so
know.
freaking hot outside.
He has been
The
miserable all
iguanas
morning,
are
everybody.
eating my flowers.
Oh my gosh, did you see that yesterday?
And you scream and I ran.
Yesterday
this
morning
big.
I screamed just to joke on you, and you jumped.
That wasn't
But
nice.
yesterday when we were coming back, walking through the parking lot, I went, and there was not an iguana. It
Was this
was
big?
a dinosaur eating our flowers in the front pots. So I quickly Googled iguana repellent. And you know what I came up with? Because I won't do pesticides or anything for them. They talked about peppers and onions and garlic. And do you know what has peppers and onions and garlic?
Or tonic.
That
No,
there
the
it is, lunch-
tonic.
that tonic that I've been making and taking for however many years through this whole pandemic. All I had to do was add some water in a spray bottle. So spritz, spritz, and then Alani comes in and says, "It smells so good out here
No,
today."
that's on this side. that's the honeysuckers. or
The honeysuckles?
whatever. Honeysuckle. I remember that because I had them in New York, and they gave me allergies. I can't forget. I run in here now.
But that iguana has to be 4 feet.
I
It
gotta
was
tell
like
you,
just
it's
munching
really
on the
sad
flowers.
when I go and I stomp my foot and I'm screaming at the iguana.
He
He
did
just
not
looks
move.
at me. He didn't move.
Nope.
It was. What did you do to chase it away?
I kicked the pot next to the door, the other plant.
And I chased it away.
Yeah, they said it does not like loud noises, so I hit something with the pot. I guess I'm louder than you.
So we have a speaker there. I'm about to put the speaker outside, make some records. The thing is, so
I could
it was
not
so
believe
big,
it was eating
couldn't
our
run.
flowers.
It was flopping. It's
I
like
went,
a human being was in there. I said, anybody seen Alana? So maybe it ate her. It was huge.
It was huge.
And that's the baby.
No.
Yes. The parent, one of them was run over by a car last year. And there's one here that is so big it looks like an alligator. And you will hear it running on the roof.
Yes. We haven't
It's
heard it, but in
it's
summer
bigger
it
than
might
you.
come back.
It's about 5
It's probably about the size of Cherie over there. It's tremendous. And you can hear it running
It's a
across the
5-foot
roof.
dinosaur.
I know. Anyway,
So
we're all,
other than that, it's all good news.
all good, all safe. We did some promo spots this morning, some new pieces, some new intros, new shows starting. You're not going to miss it. Starting next Wednesday, we have a new Spiritual Alchemist show. So that's starting. More information coming on that out of our studio. So a lot of great things.
I have some breaking news.
Yeah?
The radio station WNN has been sold again.
Again?
Second time in less than
60 days,
2
pretty
months.
much.
Has been sold again. But I understand that the person that bought it, which will keep it until the 1st, allows music.
Very nice.
So we'll be able to play music like you saw the opening out with Gabby. Gabby Reed will be able to play those pieces on the air.
So
It's
what's
just
kind
very
of exciting
exciting.
through the Amp Media piece, we've got Rio Patterson, we've got some new music with Nelsie that we're popping out on CD Baby. I think tomorrow is going to be put out. So a lot of new pieces.
So we just have to hook it up with the station, and there's this paperwork you have to fill out, and the music gets put on the air. Of course, they don't want the rated X version because it's FCC guidelines, but it's the first time in the 15 years that I've been there that they said, what are you talking about? Music is allowed because he does music on the
Kind of
other
exciting.
stations. So it's good stuff. So.
New ideas, new things changing, and that is with WWNN. But the music that we opened up today's show with is the music of Gabby B. And I'm excited because Gabby B is so interesting. She does this amazing music and belly dancing, which I don't know how you move like that. And now she's got a kids book out. So we're going to be talking about Gabby B's Adventures of a New School. We've got Cherie Ben Joseph of Kids Safe Foundation talking about what they've going on for camps. And we ran into Cherie, which is the craziest story. Last Thursday, we were out running an errand, and there's Cherie. And the crazy thing about this is you had just said to me that morning in the studio, we have not seen Kids Safe in a while. I'm going to share their post. That was about 8:30 in the morning. You share the post, we go out, we go to a meeting, and we run into Cherie right there at the meeting.
At the Dunkin' Donuts.
And I thought, holy cow, we have not seen her for months, and there you are sharing this post. And she said, I've got some more exciting things. I want to get out to the community with summer camp. And now, of course, with everything that happened, it's very, what do they
Timely.
say, timely, thank you, that you are here with us. And then we've got Heidi Wild joining us of Javon's Radiance, a new commercial that we got to put out for her, which is exciting.
Which was really cool because the producers put that commercial together. Outstanding work.
And then
Came out
we
really
roll
nice.
into our 1 o'clock hour with Lou Who's Senior Advisors and Paul Solomon. So a great afternoon show lined up for you today.
All right, where do you want to start?
Let's start with Gabby because that music, your music is amazing. How
Thank
long have you
you.
been singing and belly dancing?
I've been singing my whole life since I was like little. But I started professionally doing music when 3 years ago. And right now I have like about 20 songs out. And but my whole life I've been in the entertainment industry and knowing how to move my hips and stuff because of my parents. My mom was a samba dancer and she did a lot of different entertainments in France and Brazil and Canada. And then my dad was a Brazilian martial artist. He still is. He's like a master in it. So I've been in the entertainment industry like my whole life.
Freddie always teases me I do the white woman dance because my body does not move like your body. That I got to tell you. But man, are
Nobody's
you
body moves like her body.
He says, "Are you doing that white woman dance again?" I'm like, sorry, that's all this body does.
You know, I'm curious. I see that you did this piece with another female vocalist in this piece, and I noticed that I've been following your music for about a year now. And are you doing more work with different vocalists, or is it you and her on most of this?
Yes. So I just came out with a song called "Dance All Night" featuring Ayaz. He was the. Do you guys know Replay?
Yes.
The song Replay. Yeah. So he's the artist of that song. So, but I like to do collabs with a lot of different people, and I'm planning to collab with a lot of other people in the future. But Justina, she was very interesting because I really, really wanted to collab with her, and because I love like her personality and everything, and she's exactly like you see it on MTV Wild and Out. And yeah, so we decided to make this song together. I brought her here in Miami, and it was really fun.
All of this music is yours,
Yes.
and Daniel is your manager. Are you her producer as well?
No.
You own the rights to all of this?
Well, I work with this producer called, he goes by Mr. Hit Record, but he goes, his name is Joe. And we write the song like basically together. Like we start off by scratch. He makes a beat and I'm like, oh, I like that. We put things to it. And then we start talking about a topic and I'm like, I want to talk about this. And then we start writing, I start writing it and then like we put our inputs and then we work together like that. So
So
I work
if
a
we
lot
were
with
to share
him.
it on some radio stations, would we be able to?
I'm sorry?
If we wanted to put it out on some radio stations, would
Oh.
we be able to?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
of course.
Well, you
Yeah.
have to talk to Mr. Hit.
Joe.
Yeah, because there's a lot of
Right.
other things that Joe puts together to
Mr. Joe.
Mr. Joe to have it put out there. But if she's agreeable, you got one half of the equation done.
Can you
And
imagine your mom being a samba dancer?
yeah.
That's so cool. That is amazing.
Well, in the Latino community, all our mothers are samba
I know,
dancers.
that's what I'm thinking.
You just agree. You say, yeah,
it's
mom,
just
you can
natural.
dance.
Exactly.
Because if you don't, you get the wakata.
It's amazing. So how did you go from entertainer to book author?
Yeah, that was that was definitely interesting. But I have a fan base of children too, and me as a kid, I went through a lot of stuff like bullying. I dealt with ADHD and just a lot of things that I feel like other kids could relate and I can help them with. Because I love doing that because I suffered a lot when I was little, and I wanted to just start basically a series of books about stories of me, so like the kids that can relate can like have hope and like be like, oh my God, she's like me, you know, a foreign kid that goes to an American school and gets picked on, but she makes friends at the end. So that's what the book's about, and I just want to, you know, inspire other children.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in France, but I was born in Brazil.
And when did you come to this? Did you go to school in the States?
Yes, I was so excited. That's what the book's about. Like when, cause like in France, in like Brazil, everywhere else there's no yellow school bus. That's like an American thing. So I was so excited to come to America to like ride a yellow school bus, even though it wasn't nothing special, but but I was excited because I'm like, I see it in movies. I want to ride a yellow school bus. So that's why I made a book about it and just a small little experience about it.
Were you shy as a child?
Yeah, I
Really?
was. I'm like a social shy. Like
Right.
I can be very social and I talk a lot, but at the same time I can be really really shy. So it's like, it's both.
When did everything change for you?
Changing how?
You
Not being shy.
Not being shy, like an out
Oh no,
personality.
I'm still shy. I'm still shy.
That's
believe
shy?
it or not.
That's shy?
Heidi, if you tell me you're shy, I'm out.
I'm done. I dropped the mic. I'm out of here. That's shy? How could
There's
that be
my
shy?
moments that I'm not, but yeah.
So
I'm social
entertainment-wise, you're not shy. Just the rest of your life is shy.
Yeah, it's like I'm a little bit of both. Like, do you know, like you see the belly dance and stuff, and then you see I'm like a 15-year-old. Like in my head, I act like a 15-year-old. So like I'm kind of like
When you're on stage at Showtime, wasn't it Beyonce that had her, what's her stage name? She has another name when she's on stage.
Oh, Sasha Fierce.
Right, and then her own life. I think when it's Showtime, and that is what you do, but that's not necessarily your persona of who you
Well,
are.
there's Showtime, and then there's that, because you have to put, you have to have command of a stage when you're an entertainer. When you're singing and dancing, it's different than what you and I do, where we sit and talk.
Right.
They have to perform. Then you can't lose your breath while you're singing and dancing, and you could tell that, especially her, they're putting it out there. It's not easy to maintain that high level of give. So to be shy deep down inside, that's a tribute. That's tough to do.
And like Britney Spears was shy too. She's always shy, but on stage she's like, whoa, I love Britney. That's why I mentioned her.
What's the response you're getting from your book? I see you've been at different bookstores and you've been doing readings.
Oh yeah, they love it. They love like that I'm like a foreign student coming to America, and at the end I make friends and stuff because it's like relatable. So I'm getting really good responses.
the
What-
foreign students.
How old were you when you moved to America?
Well, the first time I came to like visit my grandparents that moved here, I was like 7, but then I moved here when I was like 9 or 10. Yeah, and then like I moved to Canada, like 2 years after that, and then I moved back.
And the bullying here was hard.
Yeah, I mean every country I got bullied, but
Why? Can you imagine bullying her?
It's been like a very roller coaster, hard making friends and France was a little more like physically, but here was more verbally, like just mean kids and like a little bit of racism. And,
I know, Cherie's shaking her head. What is the message of your book that you're trying to share?
Basically, like I'm throughout the book, like I get sad at some points, but I'm always positive, and no matter what, like I always hope for the best for the next day. And I talk to my Barbies because I love Barbies. I have about 300 of them. I'm like a big collector of Barbies because they helped me when I was little. And basically is like, always be positive and always be you, but don't forget about those little things that helped you throughout life. Like Barbies for me, I never gave up on Barbies. I'm 22 and I will still continue buying Barbies because of the meaning that it means to me when I went through those hard times. And basically that's what I want to share is just be you, do you, and yeah.
It's a great message.
Did Gabby meet our Barbies?
Our Barbies?
Oh,
our some of our artwork here by Stephanie Jaffe, where she's taken the dolls, and one of them's called Nerds Rule the World, and you'll see they're covered in different candy
rappers.
clothes for candy wrapper clothes. But there's,
That's so cool.
which is really cool. She's got one with M&M's. She's got Sugar Babies. Yeah, so everything
Three
here. We're actually
Musketeers.
doing a big blowout sale here for in the theater, the Gallery of All the Art. But I love your message and that your music is resonating with kids. It's like the two sides of Gabby B, where you've got this amazing music and movement, and you're out there being social, but yet this is what it was like to grow up, and it's okay to be different.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, if you're different, you know, you stand out and don't worry about it. Like I had insecurity about my skin, my eye color, my hair, like how it's like curly and stuff. I hated everything about me.
Wow.
But my Barbies kept me going.
I'm watching Cherie's reaction. We're going to bring her over. Maybe you can give me a three-shot on Cherie also. Cherie, you have your mic? Why do you keep shaking your head? What is resonating with you with Kids Safe?
You know, when I hear a young, a beautiful, talented young woman who's grown up in all of these different countries and have experienced bullying, it's just heartbreaking for starters, but it really shows how much work we need to do a better job of raising healthy, confident, resilient children so that they don't feel the need to push around and harm someone who's just a little bit different. And this has been going on for generations and generations, and we need to break the cycle, because when kids are bullied, and depends on the situation, it's a type of trauma. If it's bad bullying and it goes on for a long time, you were lucky you had some positivity, you had obviously strong parents and whatnot, but it can go south really fast, especially if it's online bullying. And then we see horrible things happen to children, like committing suicide, worst case scenario. So it's something that, we address in our social emotional learning programs that Kids Safe teaches about how to recognize when a relationship is not healthy and how important it is to get help when you realize that something is not feeling right and you're beginning to feel uncomfortable, confused, anxious, afraid. You need to go get help. And that kids should not suffer alone with any of these types of things.
It was so interesting because coming from another country, you were excited to go to school, right? You couldn't wait to get on that yellow school bus and meet new friends, and yet you come and you're faced with adversities that our children should not be facing, certainly not as children.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that is a lot of what you're finding. It's why Kids Safe is even in existence.
Yeah, I mean, the reality, Kids Safe is in existence because we are on a mission to help families, not just the kids, but the families and the people who work with children, to make a safer society for all children. And our focus is on, in the long term, preventing human trafficking, but in the short term, in the younger years, preventing child sexual abuse and keeping kids safe on the internet. And we know since COVID and way before COVID, kids are online, and they're online sometimes in front of screens hours and hours and hours a day unsupervised, sometimes for school, I'll grant you that, but often just because that's what we do. We all do it as adults. We're a bunch of adults sitting in here and we put our phones down, and it's hard to put our phones down. But the kids are at risk, and we as parents need to not become helicopter parents, but really become approachable parents, and that's what Kids Safe wants. We want to make sure that we teach parents and other trusted adults how to recognize a kid in need, like yourself when you were a child, and how to give you the language to be able to reach out for help. Because we don't teach those things. So Kids Safe teaches those things.
And Gabby, for your parents, what was it like for them watching this whole thing with you, coming from another country?
Well, I mean, my mom got sad, and my dad too, like, they want me to have friends and everything, but they had such a strong love for me, and that also kept me going because I had two wonderful parents that loved me so much and always kept buying me Barbies. So both were like just great for me, and I like my fans that comes to me and says, like, oh, I'm lonely. Oh, someone called me this at school. When I go live, and there's like 4-year-olds saying that they feel ugly about their skin or whatever.
You have 4-year-olds watching your Wow.
Yeah, I go live and I ask them, how old are you guys? Like, what's the age range? And it literally goes from 4 to like, whatever.
Which means they're on social media watching you at 4 years old
Yep.
on an iPad or a phone.
Yep.
That's unbelievable. That's
Well,
like
they-
Rowan.
Shall
Well,
I pick
it's-
myself off
it-
the floor now, or should I?
But it's amazing
Right?
because you got a lot of young people looking at you in the music
As a
side.
role model.
And there's a lot of secret hurt in this country, being bullied, being talked to down and everything else. And then you come out with the book that sort of explains a little bit about you and it tells people you're going to be okay. I mean, it's admirable what you're doing
It's a great
in
message.
both segments. Your music is one that stands alone, but then you bring in this book. A lot of more people are going to want to watch you because you hear their message, which is kind of cool. I
Yeah.
love that whole scenario. I
Thank
think the
you.
timing is great.
I love the message that they get to see you as your persona, as a performer, but yet here is how you grew up. It just
Yeah.
shows that you can do anything with love and purpose and direction. You can achieve anything
And you
want.
can be who you want to be, like Barbie says. So I am who I want to be
That's
nowadays.
fantastic.
Yeah.
How do people get your book?
You can get at Barnes and Nobles, and just search up.
Can you
Gabby
show it?
B.
Lift it up and show
Oh, yeah.
everyone.
Can get it at Barnes and Nobles. It's called Gabby B and Her New School Adventures on their website, and there's a Coral Springs store that also carries it.
Fantastic.
Gabby, you're going to be doing a video with kids in that book in your hand?
Oh, a what?
A book? Are you going to be doing a video?
Like a reading.
I can see her having a video with kids around you in this book.
Oh yeah. I actually did my first reading in the Barnes and Noble store. It was pretty cool, but I want to go like in different schools and stuff and just read to them and tell them about my experience. And the age range is middle school, so I would really like to also go to the hospital, like visit children in need of hope and positivity. Like I want to do that. So, and I'm actually, I'm in the process of writing a song to connect with the book. It's called Love Myself. So I'm really, really excited to like get that song done and connect it with the book.
Well, I hope when you get that song, you'll share it with us here as
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, for
'Cause
sure.
On Saturdays, we have our Kids and Teen Network that we play different shows that are hosted by kids, for kids. We had Veggie Vera do a cooking segment the other day. She actually edited it for us, so I don't even have to have the crew edit it.
It was a
which
good
is pretty
show.
cool.
Good show.
And we like to share that on Saturdays because there needs to be, I am not a big proponent of video games. I say that all the time because I think consequences of video games are not the real consequences of life. So if we can get to the kids younger and share some positive role models and some positive stories and affirmations of hope and that it's going to be okay. So when you're ready, we'd love to maybe you could read, we could film it, however we can help promote you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us. Let's take a commercial break.
Let's do that.
More with Gabby B. We got Shuri Ben Joseph of Kids Safe. We got Heidi Y. We got a great show lined up for you today. You can get Gabby B's book at Barnes & Noble and online. Is it at barnesandnoble.com?
Yes.
Gabby B's Adventures of a New School. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Through the power of effective, affordable advertising, Coffee News is an active marketing medium specializing in the ongoing weekly promotion of your business. This builds awareness for your company so you become known as the leader of your industry and develop brand awareness so people think of you first when they want your services or products. Maximize your visibility and achieve outstanding results. For more information on Coffee News, contact Sunrise Coffee News at mail.com or give them a call at 954-951-7870.
I'm Heidi Wild, and the only moisturizer I use on my skin is Javon's Desired Radiance. Javon's quality starts with producing the goat milk of the blue herd. It could make your skin look and feel younger and more radiant, just like mine. And now, there's a Javon's Desired Radiance for men, too. Order now and find out for yourself at javon.com.
Born in Marseille, France, Max Lazega creates whimsical and free-flowing interpretive art. His 40 years in the construction industry created the foundation for his craft. His unique work displays his view of the future with bold and playful combinations of materials and processes, but the methodology remains consistent. He fuses recycled materials and discarded building supplies into a fresh, well-executed approach. Lazega has lived in Miami, Florida most of his life, where he pursues his lifelong passion of creating industrial art. For more information, contact Max Lazega at artworkstudios.org or 786-326-8873.
Meet Jay Harmon, one of the many artists held in the Brooklyn Cafe Gallery. Jay specializes in various different art styles, but his medium to work with is colored pencils. His unique style comes from being self-taught and years of practice. Jay pulls his inspiration from many outlets like people, television, celebrities, and many more. With multiple original pieces, Jay's art graces the gallery with over 40 plus works for viewing and for purchase. His many years of being an artist has given him a chance to partner with the Derwent brand, giving him the opportunity to try many different work styles and further his craft. Feel free to come down and visit the studio to view his work, or if you're interested in your own Jay Harmon original, he's open to commissions on his website, coloredpencilartist.com, or catch his show, The Colored Pencil Artist, on Amp Media Productions on YouTube and Facebook. See you soon.
Breathing through my troubles, trying to be smart, living with another, passion in my heart, partners come and go, always with a twirl.
Providing music you will enjoy. JM Production performers will brighten up your stage. Condominiums and residential communities, nightclubs and restaurants that want to provide top quality singers and entertainers for their social events, banquets, celebrations, and their customers use JM Productions to ensure that they have an uplifting and beautiful event. Now, tune in for the show.
I'm Lady Ashley, and this is my husband, Big John.
The muscle behind the hustle.
We are the creators of this very unique party planning business, Lady Ashley Party Planning. We are known for all the details. We specialize in gorgeous balloon decor, floral displays, and handle all of your party planning needs from A to Z.
Please feel free to visit our website at ladyashleypartyplanning.com. Our email is abpartyplanning@yahoo.com, and our phone number is 561-542-2296.
Known for his Art Deco Cubist style and compositions with dancing saturated color, Ken Bieberman has lived and breathed art his whole life. From the early 80s, he's influenced the Art Deco district of Miami Beach. Featured in numerous restoration projects, hotels, galleries, and clubs, Bieberman creates for everyday folks and celebrity clientele. He's also the proprietor of Art Repro, a giclée and scanning company in Pompano Beach. When it comes to scanning high resolution, size is not an issue. Professionally scanning art up to 10 feet and 64 inches in width, Art Repro utilizes state-of-the-art equipment. On quality canvas or paper, archival ink and printing mediums are put to use. Art Repro ensures colors are true and every nuance of the art is captured, including the canvas weave. Perfection is the priority. Contact artist Ken Bieberman today at 954-547-0095 or visit his website www.artrepro.net.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
You know, we're back. What was that?
That was a quick kind of applause.
Quick is ended.
One and done.
It fell off the table.
Welcome back to the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Goodness, we got a good Thursday show lined up for you today. We're talking kids, bullying, new kids books, and we've got Cherie Ben Joseph of KidSafe Foundation joining us. So welcome, Cherie. Gabby, I know you're here, and Heidi, so we're going to have a conversation. Cherie, it is so nice that had the opportunity to run into you last week, and you said, I've got more to say and more to share, and there's always more information to share. So welcome back to the cafe.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
What is happening? Listen, we all know what just happened in Texas, right?
Yes.
It's beyond even word to describe it, and the triggers that it's done to other families that have suffered other traumas, from Parkland to Buffalo and everything else in between. Here we go again, and now we're talking elementary school.
Yeah, and this is not new. And I don't know if it's the right place for me how much to talk about that right here on the, on the show, but it is so beyond heartbreaking that we as a country have not been able to listen to the voice of the people who really want not gun control, but gun safety. And we have the ability to do it as a nation. And I'm hoping that we are not reading about another tragedy. I think this is the 213th mass shooting of this year. We're only in the 144th day of the year or something like that. It's beyond me, the suffering that is going on and the long-term suffering. I mean, we live right here where it happened ourselves.
Right. And
we know that those families are tragically impacted. Our community, our school districts, everything it's compounded for years and years and years of trauma. And Kids Safe Foundation, our goal is to prevent trauma and raise healthier families, but we have to do it in a bigger way, and our government needs to step in, and just like we need to get a driver's license, and a child can't just get in a car and drive a car, or a kid at 18 can't buy a drink, they shouldn't be able to buy a gun.
Have you been getting phone calls? Because by the name of Kids Safe, people are thinking it's even a broader mission than, because you have so much under your umbrella.
Yeah, so in our mission itself, we are very, very specifically focused on child sexual abuse prevention, internet exploitation, and human trafficking prevention. But what we teach are life skills. What we teach is personal safety skills. And we teach it through what is called a social emotional lens. Like, we teach kids how to feel feelings and recognize feelings and not squash them, how to understand when something isn't right and how to access help. And we do it not just about sexual abuse prevention, it's about any kind of trauma that they might experience. For example, if a child knows that another child is hungry and doesn't have enough food in their home, we're hoping that that other child might go to their own parent and say, I'm concerned about my friend. And that's learning how to use your safety voice. That's turning to your circle of safe adults. So these are skills for a lifetime. It makes us better, healthier human beings. So that when we do face trauma, we know how to respond, we know how to get help, and hopefully we're more resilient in healing from it. But it's not just for the kids, it's for the adults as well.
For the adults. And what do you have happening for summer? Because kids are out of school. Everyone is on social media.
Today's the day. Palm Beach County, last day of school today.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
I didn't realize that.
It is. Today's the last day, and it is exciting. And one of the things I want to say is that camp is so important. Our kids need camp. They need to go to camp. They need to be free. They need to have some new experiences, have some new friendships, new challenges, new faces, day camp or residential camp. And, some people say sleepaway camp is out of their ability and whatnot. But if you go online and you start searching, there are so many opportunities for various scholarships for your child to go away for a week or two. It is healthy, and they learn so much, they challenge themselves, they grow so much individually. So I'm a huge proponent, supporter of sleepaway camp.
Why do you think camp, even day camp, is different than school as far as socialization?
Oh, because it's almost all socialization. Because in school we have to focus and we have to, they have to learn very specific things. But in camp, it's interactive. They're learning team building. They're learning how to manage lots of kids in different age groups. They're learning new skills. It is such an opportunity for personal growth. So at KidSafe, we absolutely recommend you send your kids to camp. But then we have our caveat. And our caveat is you need to know where you're sending your kid. You need to talk to the people who run that camp, day camp or sleepaway camp, and ask questions. How do you train your staff? Do you have a zero tolerance policy for bullying? Do you have a zero tolerance policy for child sexual abuse? What are your policies and procedures? How do you train your staff? In today's world, there are many ways that schools and camps approach all of these things. And we at KidSafe have a program called Camp Safe. And it is literally right now, I'm so excited to announce, we are training 6,500 staff members across our country at various camps across our country. 6,500 staff members from over, I don't know, now probably 55 camps are going to have this training where they're really understanding, all of them are getting a baseline education in what is child sexual abuse? How do I prevent it? How do I recognize it? How do I stop it? Where do I go on at camp to get help if I'm concerned about a child or about another counselor? And these are the conversations that we need to be having with all staff who work with all children anywhere, because the more we understand about it, the better we can prevent, as with anything.
And what we consider sexual abuse.
It's an interesting problem, because when we went to school, and I look at now and I talk to even the college kids, nobody rats on nobody. And that's a problem.
So we address that. And you are right. And you and I have had this conversation because you grew up in the hood, so I get it.
I don't deny that.
Yeah, and it's great. But the reality is now, we have come so far, even in just the past 15 years, even the past 7 years, where when we train people as professionals and we treat those staff as professionals, those young counselors, they're 18-year-olds to 26, some of them, right? And we say, listen, this is not a joke. Those children's lives are being affected for the rest of their life. This is against the law. And we will not tolerate that at our organization, at our camp, at our school. It is approaching it in a much different way than just, quote unquote, ratting somebody out. And the kids nowadays, the youth, and we have some sample youth right here, they've been exposed to this topic through media, through books, through movies. It's not a foreign topic to them. It's not as taboo as it was when we were younger. You know, we didn't ever talk about this when we were younger. But in today's world, it's much more common. So they're not as shocked by the topic. And once again, we know that the rate of abuse, the statistics, 1 in 4 girls, 1 in 13 boys, we know that statistic is even low because most people don't report. With that, if I spoke to Gabby privately, she would know people in her sphere of influence, her friends, her family, that have been abused. I certainly do in mine, including myself, right? It's everywhere. And so talking about it, making sure that people who are working with your children, who are taking care of your children, are trained is a very strong, great step to take when you're sending your kids off to camp.
Are you talking sexual abuse as far as touch, emotional abuse also?
All of the above.
All of the above.
All of the
okay.
above.
So
Even physical. I mean, it covers physical abuse as well. You know, we train for sexual abuse, but once you're training on sexual abuse, the others absolutely are part of that. And then we teach kids that sometimes a healthy relationship that you feel is great and it's awesome, you've got a great coach or a great uncle or a great friend down the block, is awesome relationship. And then over time it starts to change. Well, that's how it works. You know, that's how that grooming process works, where they start tricking the kid into either secrets or showing them pornography online. And it happens usually in baby steps. So we need kids to know, of all ages, age appropriately, if they get a yucky feeling that, they never showed me something like that before, and now they want me to sit and watch this R-rated movie with them, but I know that's against the rules in my house. What is that all about? And if we talk about it openly, then they can go to a parent or a guardian, a trusted adult, and say, this made me uncomfortable, what should I do? And it's not just about tattling. It's really about reaching out for help and those parents being on board and understanding that it's not about tattling.
You know, it's so interesting that you sit here as the Chief Program Officer of KidSafe, and then I keep looking at Gabby, and this voice in my head keeps saying, this is not the scope of what you do as an entertainer, but yet you are a role model for our youth from a young age. And you have this greater calling, if you will, because you've now reached into this demographic of kids' books, of a safe space for these kids. Do you feel that as you're listening to her, that this could potentially, because people will come to you sometimes before they may go to Cherie, because you're not mom, you're not really the adult, you are this great, larger than life, beautiful entertainer.
And like whenever I talk, like the kids think that I sound like Dora or like Cat Valentine, you know, from the Ariana Grande voice. So they can relate. They're like, "Oh my God, you sound like you're my age and stuff." But man, I can so like relate and understand where you're coming from. 'Cause you know, like in middle school, this one kid this guy, like I was going up the stairs, minding my own business, and he just slapped my butt, like slapped it really hard, and started like saying something sexual inside of my ears, and I got so angry because like I'm a middle school, I'm definitely innocent. Like at that time, I'm like a you know
middle school, right?
Yeah, I'm in school. I'm minding my own business. I'm dressed like everybody else. And then like some guy just comes and just inappropriately touch me like that. Like it's happened a lot. And well, I pushed him down the stairs, but you know.
There you go.
But yeah, like I'm definitely kind of like a tattletale person because I definitely have to tell my mom what happens. I mean, there was
So
a
that's
kid,
not, I'm going to correct you. It's not tattling.
Yeah.
It's reporting. It's
Yeah.
telling. And you have the right as a human being
Yeah.
to reach out to your loved ones and talk about what's bothering you.
Yeah, like there was this one kid. I have so many stories, but there was this one kid that he was like 15. I was like about 11 years old or 10. And he literally hit me in the head with a basketball on purpose. On purpose. He just didn't like me, hit me in the head. I didn't do anything. I went to my mom crying, and I was like, oh, this kid hit me in the head. My mom literally like made him cry in front of all of his friends.
You know what's so interesting about this is all of these incidents left an impact on you because you can hear it as you tell the story, which is why you now share it with the kids. Just her approach is so on both sides as an entertainer, but yet you can listen and hear the impact it had.
And people will relate to it, which is really, really nice. That people have an opportunity to relate to it. And see, my viewpoint on all of this, and I will argue until the day is long, there's guns on the street, and more bad people have them than the good people. And I mean, it's just the way I feel. There are programs to talk. I know that we had Boca High in here, and they came in with a program, nobody stays alone. There's so many cracks in the system, and relying on the government right now is not a solution. For me, it's not a solution because you can't bring those lives back. So I think that the object of the game here is that more people have to speak up, whether it's singing it, reading it, pushing it. I think us as parents, I remember when I was coaching in baseball, and I made all of my baseball players ambassadors in the school, and they told me all the junk that was going on in school. Because kids have their own system. I know that we're supposed to, I know that they should, and here's everything open, but kids have their own way of running their system. And we're on the outside looking in. And when somebody has a problem, or somebody decides to shoot their grandmother in the face over a phone bill, we got some issues. We got issues past the guns. We got some psychological issues. We got some bullying issues that turn, you know, some people are just saying, I've had enough, and they're lashing out.
But the reality of it is that that person who shot his grandmother in the face, which is just beyond horrifying.
Right, but
I wonder what his. We'll never know because he's not.
But he
here
was
anymore.
in the system, is what I'm saying.
But,
18 years in the system.
If he didn't have access to firearms, then our story would maybe be different. Or if some of the people he was even bragging to online took the threat seriously, and I know that you consider that ratting out. Well, we need to train our kids to speak up.
Yes.
And potentially, literally save lives. You know.
How do people get in touch? I guess parents or schools. All of your programming is free.
Okay,
for
let's talk about that.
Okay.
So we are a nonprofit organization, and our main program is called Stay Kids Safe, and that's the program that's available to all the schools across Florida, and it's taught during the school year, and it's amazing, and it's part of a law, HB 519, and everybody has to teach child trafficking prevention education or sexual abuse prevention for the elementary school age. So we have a program. It is available for free online, and you can go to our website and register there. But that's only free if we have people like yourselves who are listening and watching today. $5 here, $10 there, $100 here, whatever you can afford to donate to KidsSafeFoundation.org is genuinely helpful. We are changing lives. We are saving lives from abuse and trauma. And the only way we can do it is if we keep that funding coming in. After COVID, things have gotten really tough. And we are, one of the reasons why I love to come here is to say, hey, people, help us. Help us reach thousands and thousands of children in Florida with this type of education.
And what is the website?
www.kid, K-I-D, safe, S-A-F-E, foundation, spelled all the way out, .org.
And do you have content for families as well on your site?
We absolutely do. We have a parenting page, a parent education page that's tons of activities and ways to have conversations with your kids about these topics in a really easy way. We have pages in Spanish as well. And we also have pages for educators. So all the stuff is free. It's online. We've got videos. We've got podcasts, all kinds of things.
So check that out. And Gabby, how do we get your book again?
It's at www.barnesandnobles.com, and it's called Gabby B and Her New School Adventures.
You know, it's amazing. People judge, right? People look at you as an entertainer, and they've got one preconceived notion because you are so beautiful, and you dance beautifully, and your music and your creativity. And they look at you as this young woman that you present as now. People don't think about what it took for you to get there. Yeah. Maybe it wasn't always so easy, right? Everyone has this story.
Yeah.
So I feel like you have this greater calling now that you've reached into this youth demographic to share safe stories with them and say, you know what, this is what it can be like, this is what you can do, and yes, you can be anything that you want to be. So that's an amazing message.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we have to talk to Miss Heidi Wild, and we've got Paul Solomon of Luhu Senior Advisors. And I also want to play Gabby's other song on the top of the hour, so stay tuned, more to come, and we'll be right back.
Artist Rosie Sherman paints her passions to share with everyone. Expressing herself through bold and vibrant colors, her suggestion and style are always in flux. Inspired by travels, nature, romance, and the human spirit, Rosie makes sure her depiction of women are strong and proud. Her landscapes illustrate the changing seasons in the diverse world that we live in. To find her artwork in the multiple medias you can purchase, visit rosiesherman.pixels.com.
Welcome to Sunshine Senior Solutions, a trusted medical supply company that puts patients first, offering quality home medical equipment and supplies. Sunshine Senior Solutions is here to help simplify the lives of patients, caregivers, and their families. From canes and crutches to diabetic glucose monitors, your health, safety, and comfort is our #1 priority. Call or visit our website, Sunshine Senior Solutions, bringing the heart back to healthcare.
Amy Reshevsky can help you choose the right piece that will add some magic to your space. Amy Reshevsky has a wide range of art, from abstracts to mosaic tapestries, and she paints on different surfaces, such as reverse painting on glass, tables, wall hangings, and sculptures. Her work can be ordered online at amyreshevsky.com, or you can come in and see it in real time at the Brooklyn Cafe Art Gallery. She also does commission work, so if you have an idea in mind, she can make it a reality. She invites you to reach out to her at Facebook or at email at amyreshevsky@gmail.com. That's amyreshevsky@gmail.com. Have an artful day.
Welcome to AMP2 TV, the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet radio, TV production company, discover AMP2 TV. AMP2 TV is a full-service media company that can provide all streaming videos, video studios, radio studios, and television studios. Call us today at 866-224-5422, for no business is too small to grow to be accounted. It's time for your message to be seen. Let AMP2 TV help get you there.
WEMP World. WEMP, the Women's Empowerment Token's mission, is to support and empower women globally, while providing a platform to educate women in the cryptocurrency market. Every transaction made through WEMP Token will support the WEMP Charity Wallet and women entrepreneurs. WEMP is here to stay. For more information, visit wemp.world. That's WEMP, WEMP.world.
Hit Squad. Gabby B. Gabby B.
Dale, 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 dale.
Watch me do that thing you like. Watch you do that thing I like. Love it how I grind, I whine. Love it when you grind and whine. Whine like a belly dancer. 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 I know what you like, babe. I got you on my size, babe. You don't gotta fight, 'cause I'm single for the night, baby. When I move, you love the way that I do it. When I whine, slow whine, hypnotized to the music. My hips are assassins, it's a fatal attraction. When the strobe lights are flashing, get so caught up in passion. And my hips in rotation, feel your heartbeat, it's racing. Touch my body, temptation, yeah, I love a sensation. Watch me do that thing you like. Watch you do that thing I like. Love it how I grind, I whine. Love it when you grind and whine. Whine like a belly dancer. 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 I know that you feel the rush. Can you feel the lust? When our bodies touch, I can be your crush. Love me, take control, make me feel beautiful. Touch me, caress me, make me feel sexy. Use me, consume me, pursue me, seduce me. I move, you love the way that I do it. When I whine, slow whine, hypnotized to the music. Watch me do that thing you like. Watch you do that thing I like. Love it how I grind, I whine. Love it when you grind and whine. Whine like a belly dancer. 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 Whine like a belly dancer.
That was, well, he said it, they just weren't listening to him. I gotta say, he kept saying that they just weren't listening to him. That was the music of Gabby B. So if you missed out on our first hour, definitely you want to rewind because her story's a beautiful young girl.
It tells you, you would think that there was no cracks in that whole thing, and it came out music-wise, talent-wise, and now book-wise.
And she said that was just a tough interview for her because she said it was a tough interview for her because it brought up a lot of things, a lot of memories of being bullied and a lot of
talked about that.
abuse. And it doesn't matter what you look like on the outside, but sometimes we all have a story and we all go through things that people don't realize. So be sensitive to what other people don't judge. Just realize everyone's got a story coming forward.
Everybody carries a story, and the bottom line here is try to be sensitive to the fact that other people are human too. You're not the only one that has feelings.
Or
other people have feelings, problems, everything else. And she gives you an opportunity to share in hers, which is amazing.
Which was great. Gabby B and her new school adventure, so I'm really excited. I don't know if you knew she even had a book when I brought her on.
I had no clue.
So you and I should communicate a little bit more.
We should.
You can check out this book at exactly Barnes & Noble. There are times I say to him, if we don't have this conversation right now at 8:30 in the morning, I may not talk to you again until Tuesday, right? Because then we go to Thursday, Fridays are crazy, it's a long weekend. And he looked at me and he says, I know. So it wasn't even like that was a crazy thing to say because things get a little busy here.
There were 5 people in this studio today, and I knew who was coming today. I knew of just Gabby's video. That's it. I didn't know who was coming. I didn't know what the conversation was.
And then he rolls with it.
I'm like, I mean, it's been like this for 7 years, so why should today be any different?
I think it's turned out pretty well for us.
It did.
Right?
It was a great interview. I'm surprised that she opened up and talked about it.
I did not know her story. I knew she wrote the book. I didn't know her story.
It's not like we know her personally, and she opened up, and it's amazing. It's a testament to her character, and that's what I was saying, that she related. She has all these young minds and people looking at her music, and then she has this book come out and she talks about her personal life. It's a mover. It's something to be on the lookout for.
It's interesting. She said she has a hard time relating to people her own age, or they have a hard time relating to her because
I still don't
people
get
judge.
that. Yeah, well, you know what?
She's a beautiful young woman.
She is.
Incredibly talented.
And she has something to say, and if you use your ears instead of your mouth, you'll be able to hear it.
Amen.
Simple like that.
Amen. And Heidi came in today, and you said, "Good morning, Freddie." And Freddie said, "I did not know Heidi was coming. We've got a surprise."
Now, we got to work on a commercial for Heidi not too long ago. And the remarkable thing is that now I see Heidi, every time I look at you, I see goats.
Oh, well, at least they're cute. I have to tell you, that was one of the most fun shoots that we've been able to do. And you are such a pleasure to work with. And it was so much fun. Give everyone a little bit of background as to what we were working on.
It's a moisturizing cream called Desired Radiance by a company called Javon out of Kentucky. And the special ingredient of the, am I have this close enough?
You're good.
Okay. Of the moisturizer is not just that it's goat milk, but that it's a particular diet fed to the goats in order to get out the particular nutrients in their milk that create skin like mine.
You love this cream. You've told me such great testimonials that people have had as far as even recovering from burns.
Most of the feedback I've gotten and actually even witnessed in one person were dry patches on an elbow for one and another next to his nose. And even the gentleman who invented the moisturizing cream himself, that's the reason he did it, was because he had, I don't remember where on his face, but he had a dry patch, and this stuff gets rid of it, and it's amazing. And I really love it.
And it's for men and women.
Yes, it is.
It isn't just women.
No, it's for men and women.
And the commercial, when you shot it, we were fortunate enough to shoot it at Dawn's house. And you came out dressed, and you had on the reds, and I think it was the white. And I've known your mom for about 10 years ago. I used to produce a show for her.
I remember.
And I remember seeing you every once in a while. You came on the set, and I hadn't seen this side of you ever. Because you are somebody, you're an influencer on YouTube. You
Yes,
got a huge following.
Yes.
And here you go with this product. and it comes from goats. I think it's blue
It's
goats.
the milk of the goats.
Well,
yeah,
The milk of the
blue herd.
goats is blue.
Pardon
I don't
me?
think the milk is blue. I think the goats are blue.
The goats are
The
blue.
goats are blue. Well, they're not blue like the beautiful, some of the pictures in here, but they're blue.
They have a tinge.
Yes, and he calls them the blue herd. And it's funny how the channel actually tied in, my channel on YouTube, tied into promoting this product because my mother brought it home and said, this stuff cured me. I burned my face and it cured me in 2 days and try it. So I did, and I said, oh my God, I love it. I just put on this tiny little bin and it felt so good, and I was like, this stuff is great. And you know, because I wear makeup, but I don't wear anything on my skin except for this stuff now, and it's wonderful. I just love it. I do. And so I said to Ben, the man who invented it, I said, I have a YouTube channel. Why don't I try and, you know, sell this stuff? Because he wasn't even going to market it. And he said, that sounds great. Go for it. I'll package it and let's see how we do. And that's how it got going. And I actually thought of the name, Desired Radiance.
Oh, really?
I was so proud of that. Because we were throwing the names back and forth. And it just came to me like, you know, when you have a dog that you rescue and you already know its name, like it was like that. I was like, Desired Radiance.
It's a great name. How'd you
Thank
like
you.
shooting the commercial?
I loved it. It was so much fun. And I wanted to bring like a retro, old-fashioned feel because I'm retro and old-fashioned. And that red I was wearing, that's actually a vintage peignoir set from the 1950s or 60s. I don't know.
Wow.
I bought that on eBay. And I was so excited. You know, of course, I took it to the dry cleaners, had it altered to fit me. I saw that face. But,
Yeah, but it was a great
You
shoot.
look beautiful.
yeah, I had my hair as the lady, the man who owns the salon who did my hair that day said, okay, go over there to get antiquated. But I wanted that. I was like, it's elegant. It's you know, it's a wonderful moisturizing cream. It's, as you were saying, with the girl time in the mornings, you know, opening the lovely jar. I just love it.
And you had three girls on the shoot?
Yeah, we
Three
had
girls?
Alana and Bree
Bree?
and Alyssa,
Alyssa.
actually.
You had 3 girls. And,
We had you and Slick also, but you guys sat in the
Slid
living
and
room.
I sat in another room, we were watching TV, but we kept hearing the excitement coming out of the room. And then she came out a couple of times and she was vibrant. She was glowing. And I was saying to Slick, I said, this commercial is gonna be dynamite because she's feeling it. Now, you've never done a commercial before, have you?
No, it was exciting for me. And the young ladies that your team, they are fantastic. They are sweet. They were just adorable and knowledgeable, and they were so sweet and reassuring. Because I was like, a commercial to me. I was like, I'm doing a commercial here. You know, and they were like, to them it was like professional and, you know, like very, I felt, because I knew, I do believe in my product, and it's not that I know that I'm commercial worthy, but it was exciting for me.
You did a
you
great
know?
job.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was awesome. And then you know, they were just so complimentary and just a really genuinely wonderful team of. They were great.
Yeah, so much of the process is having fun and enjoying what you're doing.
Yeah, and then
being
the
a whole part
lights
of it.
flickering and you know, they knew what they were doing. I was so impressed with their knowledge of like cameras.
So was I. No.
Really?
No,
You
not at
probably
all.
taught them.
No, I didn't teach them. They learned these skills, and the 3 of them, what I wanted to see is how the 3 of them got together and they came out with the end product. And I knew that you coming in, you're going to be nervous because it's the first time you've done it.
Yeah.
And when they all came out, everybody was smiling, and you could see. And you could see it on the video, how well it translated into this thing.
Well,
It's very uncommon for somebody to have a product nobody's ever heard of. Somebody who is an influencer picks it up, puts it together, and then runs with it. I mean, this guy's a lucky guy. He ran into a little bit of luck with you.
Thank
And
you,
I
I
seen
agree.
what you do on YouTube, and I seen some of what you do on YouTube, but most of it has numbers. You know, 65, 75,000 views are going on for her, which is a nice number to start an unknown program. And now, here you go.
Freddie, I agree. You know, I'm very anxious and proud and of what I've accomplished that way. And it's like the other young lady was here, and Cherie was so sweet. You know, this is a fun, exciting day for me too, just being here. But yeah, I was saying to Gabby, I was saying it's funny, Gabby, because here we are sitting here together, and you're so together, you're so with it at 22, and let's just say I was nothing like Gabby at 22 at all. So, you know, to be where I'm at is like, it's just neat. It's like to be sitting here on the show with Freddie and Don and now this guy, and you know,
That's
like
this guy.
This guy.
That's Paul.
Oh, I'm
This
sorry.
guy.
Oh, he's sweet. He told me how to hold the microphone. But it's like, you know, we all ended up here, no matter how we got here.
We all ended up here for a reason. You know, it's interesting because this morning when I was rolling out, as everyone's walked in who was on the show, Freddie looked at me and said, "You put who together with what?"
Yeah, I was a little bit timid on what was
He
happening.
like,
today.
"You did what?" And I.
But it worked out.
It
actually.
always works out, and you just have to have greater faith in God that.
Amen.
And I did not know her story, but how it all fell into place. You really couldn't have asked for a better combination between those two pieces.
Now, the other thing is, when I found out what you were doing on YouTube, you woke me up.
I did?
Yes. And so what I'm doing now is I have 5 or 6 of the ladies and Slick, and we are putting together a whole social media blitz. We're putting out different products. We're going to use your commercial. I want to do interviews, bring Paul because he does the senior side of things. And what I'm learning is that the more information you put out there, it clicks on. There are people that need your product. And they're going to look at you and say, okay, why am I going to use this? And when they see this whole enthusiasm about burns and skin and dry and the elbows, and it works, that it comes from goats, blue goats.
We should get some and try it.
I think it's kind of cool.
We should buy a bottle. We should buy a jar and try it here. I think it would be a great idea.
And then
Make sure another testimonial. Of course.
We'll put your picture on the back of it. And what you do is you bring out these little sticks they sell, and you take
Try
them, you
it.
can dip it so people can try it on their. I gotta tell you, you've influenced me into opening up my eyes that it's just not a show. You gotta do more, and you gotta bring more.
Pardon me for interrupting, Freddie, and thank you. That was such a nice compliment. I thank you. May I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Something that occurred to me. I don't want to be out of line, but I thought of something watching some of your shows. And how you tell people to call in. Well, I was thinking, why not just tell people to come here and get on the show?
Absolutely.
Like stand outside like in line, like in New York City when I used to want to be in commercials as an actress long ago. And, you know, I think that if you did something like that, even one day a week, you'd get
I
quite
think you should
crowd
help me
out
do
there.
that 2 days a week. I will welcome. She thinks I'm kidding. I will welcome it. This was set to bring people in to share things like what you have.
Yes,
We
because
have.
everyone wants to be a star, and everyone is a star, right? Isn't that the
Well,
Everyone has a
Well,
story.
you sell, you display information. You know, some of the things that Paul. I wish I had known Paul when my parents were alive. I would have saved a lot of money. But there are other products. There's the Gubba. There's coffee. There's your creams. There's different things.
There's our merch.
There's merchandising. I would love it. You want to bring in as many people 5 days a week.
You know,
You can do that.
Forgive me. I think we were talking about two different things. Because when you invite people to call into the show, what I meant was make it like, don't just call in, come and be on.
But we invite
Get
people.
5 minutes on.
We invite for the last 7 years. We invite people. If you would have seen what we were before, it was the size of this corner, and we used to fill up people all the way to the back of the room. remember that?
Right, yes.
But we invite. What's happened is with COVID, more people are staying home,
Oh,
little
I
by
see.
little.
So you already did what I suggested.
No, but I would have you. I would like you to suggest it out in public because there's another set of tones, and people will say, well, if she's there, maybe it's okay to start coming out.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. We'll talk about that. Yeah.
Perfect.
Awesome. What's the website? For Javon's Desired Radiance.
Javon.com. That's Jaavon, V like Victor. Jaavon.com.
So Heidi Wild for more information.
Make sure you click on Referred by Heidi Wild.
Click on Referred by Heidi Wild. We're going to take a commercial break. Heidi, thank you so much for all those accolades and for having such a great time and entrusting us with your commercial.
Oh, absolutely. I'm so happy I did. Thank you.
We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we've got Luhu Senior Advisors in the house with Paul Solomon. We got to see what's going on. Hard to believe it's almost June, it's summer, and see what's happening in this whole space.
You keep saying that.
Give us a call, 888-994-4995, Studio A, and we'll be right back.
Are you ready to relax and unwind? Come visit the Spa Facial on Ocean Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale Beach. We offer facial therapy, body treatments, waxing, men's spa treatments, and so much more. Our spa services are a great way to take a step back from the bustle of everyday life. Come take a break with us. We guarantee our all-natural products will bring you to pure tranquility. Call us today at 954-213-5034 or visit our website, thespafacial.info. We hope you're enjoying this episode of the Brooklyn Cafe TV show. Whether you enjoy watching in the mornings or afternoons, you can now watch with your favorite merchandise. Choose from the Brooklyn Cafe t-shirts, ranging from sizes small to 3XL. Colors available include black, dark heather, and navy. Feeling chilly? Just check out our latest hoodie with over 9 colors to choose from. Sip on some Brooklyn Cafe coffee with Dawn and Freddie in a matching mug as seen on set. Brooklyn hats and special seasonal items are always popping up and available upon request. To purchase, you can visit our online store at brooklyncafe.tv/shop. Happy shopping! Cool, calm, collected. Needing a drink to end a long day, or maybe to start your vacation right? Gubba Rum is here to let you kick back and do just that. Inspired by a technique that dates back to the 1800s, these artisanal, organic, and naturally infused rums are made from pure cane and the finest fruits, spices, and herbs the world has to offer. Gubba Silver is infused with naturally shredded coconut, and Gubba Gold is infused with real vanilla bean. Simply shake and enjoy. Visit gubbarum.com to find the nearest location to buy or enjoy. All establishments have personally reviewed and enjoyed firsthand the wicked smoothness of Gubba Rum. 35% ABV and 70 proof. Gubba Rum, it's wicked smooth.
Being a successful woman in business means having the courage to own who you are. We understand the challenges faced by women, and we are here to help. Our team is here to develop the best strategy designed just for you. Your path is unique, and with the right tools, you can accomplish your dream. From radio to TV, from podcasting to magazines, we create the visibility to amplify your impact in business. At New Dawn Media, we are here to help bring your message forward and help your business flourish. It is time for your message to be seen and your voice to be heard. Contact us at 866-224-5422 or brooklyncafe.tv. Your voice can make a difference.
Planning for the future should not be painful and needs to be discussed. From health, family, finances, allow qualified professionals to aid in your planning. Luhu Advisors have been serving South Florida for over 30 years. A licensed real estate broker, insurance agent, assisted living administrator, and certified senior advisor, Paul Solomon is the most qualified and well-rounded advisor for any task. Specializing in real estate, long-term care, life insurance and annuities, Social Security, government benefits, and senior housing. Luhu Advisors. Let us help you.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back.
And we're back at the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Heidi is so lovely. I have to tell you, you bring all kinds of people in. She's just so sweet.
And her mom is the same way, except her mother would hit you with a right hook and forget about it. Her mother was tough.
You know her mom from WNN, right?
11 years ago.
What kind of show was it?
Political. Right wing. Watch out now. Here we come.
Really?
Oh, I shot it at Beaucaire Country Club
It was on location?
because she wasn't happy with the radio station. So I rented out the conference room. And I brought on all this lighting. And then we put it on television. She was on TV, actually, with the radio station.
Wow.
And Bobby introduced me to her. It wasn't
long time
mine.
ago.
Oh, my goodness, yes. But she was always tough. There was no messing around with her. And her daughter is just a complete opposite.
Such a sweet lady.
She's a sweet lady.
A fun commercial. All right, what you got over there?
All right, so where's the barcode? You got a barcode up for the merch store? You have a barcode?
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's there.
And it's funny because if you have your phone, what do? Click on that?
All you have to do is hold your camera icon up to that QR code. It takes you right to our merch store where you can order all of our Brooklyn Cafe Show merch.
But how do you hold the camera if you're watching the show?
You can just screenshot it, or just for a moment in time.
You
can,
notice the pause, right? Everybody's like, wait a
You
minute,
can open
what?
something else up. You can open up your camera app and say, I got this.
And you did that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you did it?
Yeah, look.
You did it?
Yeah.
Ah, I'll be darned.
It takes you right there, pops up, and you go right
I'll
to
be
the website.
darned. So
How
you
you
go
like
to the
that?
merch store and you're able to get the merchandise. It has all sorts of stuff. We got to get Boca Brittany a shirt so we can put in the collaboration section of the merchandise store.
Absolutely.
I think it'll be cool. We'll put a cool saying on the back. What's your cool saying?
You have a tagline?
You have a tagline? Brittany says or something?
It depends on
Well,
her
that's a
mood.
tagline. Depends on the time of day. So go in there, check it out, do me a favor. And we are taking any type of changes, criticisms to make it more
Interactive.
interactive. Yeah, that's our new word, is interactive stuff.
Okay.
I'm exhausted.
We've got Paul Solomon of Luhu Senior Advisors joining us today. We haven't seen Paul since last week. I feel like it's been so many days. It's been about 8.
No, it wasn't last week. It was like 2 months ago.
He
we
did
saw
Monday
Paul.
and Tuesday with us last week. He was on
Did,
NN.
did you? Really? Wow. You're a busy dude.
Let's do it.
You have it? All right, play it. Roll. In that direction.
Let's
Transition.
do it. Play it.
Use your full words. So you weren't
Planning
ready.
for the future should not be painful and needs to be discussed. From health, family, finances, allow qualified professionals to aid in your planning. Luhu Advisors have been serving South Florida for over 30 years. A licensed real estate broker, insurance agent, assisted living administrator, and certified senior advisor, Paul Solomon is the most qualified and well-rounded advisor for any task. Specializing in real estate, long-term care, life insurance and annuities, Social Security, government benefits, and senior housing. Luhu Advisors. Let us help you.
He's so in LA already.
He's in LA
Slick
already.
starts vacation tomorrow, but apparently he started today.
But that works.
He's on the mindset. So, Paul, welcome back to the Brooklyn Cafe Show.
Glad to be back as always.
And it's funny, Brittany, he was here last week, and it was hashtag Radio Works, because Paul hosted his own show with us on Monday night on Tell Us Your Biz, and you got a phone call right there.
Hashtag it works.
And he came in and he said, it works. And we know radio works. How did that appointment go?
Appointment went great. Explained to them a couple things that they had no idea that they can do. And I am meeting them again next week to close the deal.
Congratulations.
Helping them with Medicaid planning. And then we talked about their home, and I think they're going to apply for a reverse mortgage because they can qualify. I know they can, so I'll bring in my friend to do the reverse mortgage. That'll knock away their mortgage, have them keep a lot more money in their pocket every month, and then bring in aids to help the husband who needs help in and out of the shower, getting dressed, mostly in the morning. That's what they'll start with, and they were very happy.
That's amazing. Well, what are some of the signs that people should really start thinking about? Is it finances? Is it health? Is it security for the future when they say, you know what, now it's really time for me to call Paul? What are some of those flags?
I think it starts with health issues. I think it's either, the spouse of the person that has their health that's failing, they realize they can't take care of them anymore. Between even the point of losing sleep because their loved one gets up in the middle of the night, has to use the restroom, something happens, and the spouse has to get up. Now they're not sleeping. And once they start not sleeping, then they don't feel well. And it's just this road they go down where they realize, you know what, if I can get a couple hours in here in the morning, or if I can just go out in the middle of the day because they can't leave their loved ones at home anymore, whether it's dementia or Parkinson's, to have those couple of hours a day, a week, to be able to go do the things they want to do, that's kind of where it starts. That's where I could, again, talk to them about their finances, talk to them about long-term care if they have it, or go and apply for either the VA or Medicaid benefits.
Now, Paul, you also handle probably a lot on the caregiver side of the equation, right? Prepping, knowing that you're getting older, like I'm getting older, my sons are probably going to call you any minute
You're
now.
young, you're young.
But you have to prepare, because there is so much uncertainty going on around us in all aspects of life that it's better to at least prepare to have a game plan and to have no game plan. Do you find more caregivers reaching out to you?
I do now, and I guess it's getting the word out.
Yeah.
And I guess COVID didn't hurt the situation, realizing that loved ones now were kind of trapped in their house or trapped in the house with them, and realizing that, hey, maybe I've been missing this. Maybe mom or dad can use more help, or the grandparents can use more help around the house, can't do certain things, can't pay bills. And it's the eyes have been opened by a lot of people going through the last couple of years saying, you know what, I got to get ahead of this, because I didn't know what mom or dad had in the bank. I didn't know what the house situation was. And maybe they're better off being around people as opposed to being in their condo by themselves, going out less. Now going there, seeing they're not having the refrigerator full or spoiled foods in there, that maybe an assisted living is the right place, or independent living. So I think in the last year or two, I've seen a big change in a lot of people realizing that there's help out there that they can get, and it's not always having to come out of pocket. There's government benefits that we can reach out to get.
Probably the biggest myth or misnomer is I can't afford it, so mom and dad are just going to have to deal with what it is, because I live in New York and I'm raising my children. I feel terrible about it, but we can't afford to help them either.
Right.
But then when you go to visit mom and dad and you see the way some of them may be living, you think, what am I going to do? They need help. I can't be here. My brother can't be here. We can't afford it. And you've become so overwhelming. You look around this house and say, I would not even know where to start. You got to call Paul, because Paul, you have a team of advisors that come in from reverse mortgage to VA to Medicaid to wills and estates. You have an incredible team that you work with that can check off all of these ideas.
Yeah, I mean, just like yesterday, a home care agency called me and said, I think this person really needs to go into memory care or a nursing home. They were getting paid, and they realized that the family really needs to take that next step. So they called me. So of course I got pushback from the wife because it's her husband. I started talking about assets a little bit. I started talking about government benefits, and they said, oh, we can't qualify. We were told years ago we can't qualify. I said, okay, where'd you live? Oh, New Jersey. I said, okay, different rules in different states. VA, I agree, you can't qualify just for the little bit you're telling me, but maybe we can qualify for Medicaid benefits and get some help in the house. You're spending a lot of money, 12 hours a day to have somebody there. Maybe we can cut that in half. Maybe I can get you 3, 4, 5 hours a day and help you out before really your husband needs to go into either the memory care or the nursing home. And there was pushback, pushback, pushback. And then she said to me, well, what places do you think are good? And that's kind of where I said, you know what, let me bring in somebody else, because they specialize in doing senior placement, where I know of a couple. I know where my mom's been, I know where I'm headed, But
I know where I'm headed.
I know where I'm headed. But let somebody come in to really understand your situation with that. I'll take care of the finance end of it, but let them really tell you what might be best for your family. And there's bringing in the team.
It's funny, when my parents came to Freddie's wedding, it was January, and I didn't let them go for 3 months. And my father got ill, he went to the hospital, you went to visit him. And he was living the dream here because the hospital isn't like in Puerto Rico. It's, you know, it's a hospital, not a cave. And I should have, see, I wish I had known you, because one of the things that works is when you have somebody from the outside come in and sit down with your parents, they don't treat him the same way they treat me.
Absolutely.
They're going to listen to him, especially if a word is used that he hits them with and it rings all these bells. With me, it's just noise. So I had to argue to have my parents here, but I can show you pictures of here and when they went to PR a week later, and you're gonna say to me, they're two different people. Who are these people? What happened? And that's what happens, because it only takes a second to take your eye off the prize and bad things happen. That Medicare B plan thing, which I'm still confused about, that if you get away from the government's portion of it and you take that private thing.
Yeah.
My mother
Advantage
did that.
plan, Medicare Advantage plan.
Well, my mother did that, yeah, Advantage. I had an argument with them. They Advantage of nothing.
It was no
Advantage
advantage.
them,
It was
us
no
nothing.
advantage, right?
They win, we lose. Advantage to you.
Right.
So you can't get back on once you get off, is what I was told.
You can. You just have to do it at the right time. There's certain times of
Well,
year.
I'm going
you
to
can
tell you
switch back and
something.
forth.
This is what I'm talking about. I argued with that lady. I was yelling into the phone because my mother needed certain things and we couldn't get it. My father says, do not take me off the government. Do not. And he was fine.
Think about how crazy it is that we can't change insurances through our government except when they decide it's open enrollment.
Right.
When they're ready, and
But
so many
Dawn,
things
hold
that are
on a
crazy.
second. I'd rather have that than somebody tell you for 3 hours on the phone, no, you can't. You can't do that. So this is what they told my mother. No, you can't. You're going to be without insurance. And they scammed her into this Advantage plan. And it covers absolutely nada. Aspirin. You get a half of aspirin. That's all you get. It was the most ridiculous argument I had. Who told you to do this?
And things have changed.
Yeah, things change all the time. And so when it comes to somebody dealing with Medicare, that's not me. I know enough to be dangerous, but then I have somebody as part of my team that I would lead you to and say, okay, here's your situation, and he'll give you great answers. He knows the dates, he knows everything going on. And again, it took me years to find somebody I can trust. Because if I'm going to tell you and I'm bringing you into my world, I want to make sure the people that are surrounding me give you the truth and not there just to make a buck and then, you know, push it to the side. So it's really hard. But I was sitting in an assisted living the other night, my mom's assisted living, and they started having family members, like family member night. It was kind of a, I'll call it a bitch fest, okay? There's nothing else to call it, right? To complain about it. And I'm sitting there, and no one knows who I am, and I'm probably one of the younger adult children in this room, so they don't even know, they like can't believe I'm sitting there. And I'm looking at the crowd, and they're a lot older than me. But it's amazing the misinformation that the people were with Medicare. And why is this covered? And somebody's like, well, this is not covered under my plan. They had no idea what their mom or dad had as in a Medicare Advantage plan. So we're saying that's why you're getting this bill, because as you get sicker on the Medicare Advantage plans, it's not a great plan. And now you're trapped because you can't then go and get a supplement to help pay old Medicare. So you got to be careful to understand how's your health been. I know for my dad, the Medicare Advantage plans never would have been good. And I try to get them off Medicare with a supplement because it was getting costly. But I realized that those dollars I'll pay, because to go onto that Medicare Advantage plan, my dad would have been screwed by the end. I mean,
It's a difference in price?
Well, it's not a difference in price. So you can go Medicare old, we'll call it, or Medicare Advantage. So the cost is not, there's no cost. It's the cost of the supplement. So the cost of the supplement, depending upon how young you are, once you turn 65 and you get it, yes, it goes up. But now my dad, who's been was in the hospital many times, I mean, we paid zero out of pocket. If he was on the Medicare Advantage plan, we would have been broke years ago.
Yeah, the
Because of the
out-of-pocket's
co-pays and
crazy.
everything else, even though on TV and the commercials say no co-pays, zero this, zero
It's not
this,
true.
zero this. It's not true.
It's not.
It's really
But you
not
got to
true.
understand, just the word of saying, yes, you can join again,
Right.
would have changed the whole conversation.
Right.
Because she was believing what they told her. Now, we never had a problem until she switched to this thing. So I'm saying to myself, every time I see him, I want to kick myself in the head because I wish I had known him. Because they would have listened. They would have said, I can. Meanwhile, Freddie's been saying it for a long time. I can. Yes, you can. I didn't know what I was talking about either. I didn't know if you could. I just didn't like this plan. This was horrible.
Well, let me ask you a question about Medicare, Medicare Advantage. If someone has cancer, right, they're not just routine health checks. Do these plans cover any of this?
So I don't want to answer that because again, everybody, what I was
It's
going to say is
different.
every family is different, every situation's different, but you really need to call somebody, and I have
Who
that
knows?
somebody,
And you have somebody
who can
help.
tell you that. So I can't say, well, if they have cancer or not. It's the same thing when somebody comes to me and says, oh, my mom or dad, was either just diagnosed or they have cancer. Can we get on Medicaid? And I'm going to say, not necessarily. I'm sorry to hear that, but do they have any activities of daily living that they can't do? No, mom's still driving, mom's going to her dance class, doing whatever, yoga. So she's, I'll say, fully functioning for what the benefits would pay for.
Well, I got someone else I got to send to you.
Well, but
I say this, Brittany, every show.
But this is
Paul, I gotta
just,
send
but
you
this
someone
is
else.
just it. If you call Paul, he'll direct you in the right way, and you should get a tune-up on what you have. Take a look at what you have. Don't go through what I went through because that was miserable. I mean, really miserable. I didn't have somebody like Paul in my corner, and he can send you to different places that give you the right deal. You ever buy an insurance policy, right? Car insurance, let's say, and you're grooving, you have car insurance, you're all protected, and some guy out of the blue hits you, has no car, no insurance, has no driver's license, doesn't know how to drive, that's why they hit you in the first place. And the government says, I'm going to fine you because you changed lanes without a light, without a signal. Just happened to the guy at the radio station. He almost died. He went over 15 times
Oh, my goodness.
and lived. You know who it is. And they fined him. They didn't do nothing to the guy with no insurance, going 160 miles an hour in a 30. Nothing.
Why was the other guy fined?
They didn't fine him. They fined the guy that I know
But why?
because he switched lanes without. He
Without
initiated the destructive method. And the reason he switched lanes was this guy was driving like that. So he was afraid he was going to get hit. He was going to actually pull over to the side and let this maniac go by.
Wow.
So you ever buy into something and you get nothing? You get nothing. You feel like you get kicked in the gut because, I mean, your parents are your parents. You only got one set of parents, right? And everybody got a set of parents. I don't care who you are. And you feel like they were taken advantage of. And there's nothing you feel you can do. So along comes the ranger over here riding on his horse and saying, yes, you can. It just brings me back to that moment.
Remember what you taught us about Social Security if you're married.
Oh.
I'm going to let you say it so we don't say it the wrong way.
Yeah, once you're hitting that 65, 66, 67, if you are married and one spouse decides to take their Social Security, you as the spouse can continue to work and get half of theirs. And you don't have to turn yours on. You can push yours off to 70, and every year that you wait, you're getting an 8% increase. So depending upon the age that you are now, it's 66 plus whatever month, or 67. If you wait to 70, that's an 8% increase no matter what. And if you have a spouse, people don't realize that one spouse can turn on and the other spouse can delay theirs but take half of that spouse. So there's a lot. I mean, there's so many different ways people can play with Social Security, but no one knows it.
People have no idea.
No idea.
I love it. I love it when you're on because usually I get all this argument about all the wannabes that think that they know everything about everything.
Yeah.
And they're sitting there and they're telling me, oh no, he has that incorrect. And I did insurance for a little while, where you would do the plan with the insurance in the house and all that. And it is a parachute if you got no choice. And even if you didn't, even if you had choice, it's a good plan if the circumstances are right. And I get into this whole argument back and forth, and oh no, he's incorrect. If I were to call you every time I get into an argument with people, I had to put you on a speed dial. Because everybody thinks that they have a solution to a problem. Meanwhile, they're in the soup.
And VA benefits. We were talking about a case with you, I guess, a couple weeks ago about people who got married later in life. So there's 2 sets of kids and there's 2 sets of grandchildren, and it was to make it easier on the spouse, on Social Security and finances. You can help with these situations as well.
Yeah, I mean, again, when it's the mixed families, it's unique. And again, it's not even just where I start the financial side of it, it's the legal aspect of it, where you need to bring in an attorney to make sure. It's all about bloodlines. And I was just talking to somebody yesterday that they want to make sure that they want to leave everything to their daughter, okay? And if the daughter, I said, what happens to the daughter? That means the husband's going to get everything. And what happens if he remarries? Your grandkids might get nothing. So you really need to set up some type of trust to make sure that the bloodlines, that your grandkids get your money, not somebody else's kids that could get your money. And
Dad,
they're looking
I'm calling you after the show.
That's important.
They look at me like, what are you talking? I mean, I want to make sure. And I said, well, that's why, unfortunately, you have to spend a little bit of money and see the attorney. And again, finding the right attorney. So I have the attorney I feel I'm comfortable with to recommend all the time, because I know he's not going to gouge you and that he's going to give you what you need, not keep selling you on something that you don't need.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, we're
Paul,
going to...
hold on. Paul, how do people reach you?
Yeah, you can call my cell phone. I always answer it, 954-540-6609. My email is paulsolomonpa@gmail.com, or you can go to my website, luhuadvisors.com.
And if you want us to reach out to him, I love doing that. Give us a holler, and we'll make sure that you get the information if you missed that.
All right, let's take a quick commercial break. More to come. We come back on this Thursday afternoon before Memorial Day. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Artist Rosie Sherman paints her passions to share with everyone. Expressing herself through bold and vibrant colors, her suggestion and style are always in flux. Inspired by travels, nature, romance, and the human spirit, Rosie makes sure her depiction of women are strong and proud. Her landscapes illustrate the changing seasons in the diverse world that we live in. To find her artwork in the multiple medias you can purchase, visit rosiesherman.pixels.com.
Welcome to Sunshine Senior Solutions, a trusted medical supply company that puts patients first, offering quality home medical equipment and supplies. Sunshine Senior Solutions is here to help simplify the lives of patients, caregivers, and their families. From canes and crutches to diabetic glucose monitors, your health, safety, and comfort is our #1 priority. Call or visit our website, Sunshine Senior Solutions, bringing the heart back to healthcare.
Amy Reshevsky can help you choose the right piece that will add some magic to your space. Amy Reshevsky has a wide range of art, from abstracts to mosaic tapestries, and she paints on different surfaces, such as reverse painting on glass, tables, wall hangings, and sculptures. Her work can be ordered online at amyreshevsky.com, or you can come in and see it in real time at the Brooklyn Cafe Art Gallery. She also does commission work, so if you have an idea in mind, she can make it a reality. She invites you to reach out to her at Facebook or at email at amyreshevsky@gmail.com. That's amyreshevsky@gmail.com. Have an artful day.
Welcome to AMP2 TV, the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet radio, TV production company, discover AMP2 TV. AMP2 TV is a full-service media company that can provide all streaming videos, video studios, radio studios, and television studios. Call us today at 866-224-5422, for no business is too small to grow to be accounted. It's time for your message to be seen. Let AMP2 TV help get you there.
WEMP World. WEMP, the Women's Empowerment Token's mission is to support and empower women globally, while providing a platform to educate women in the cryptocurrency market. Every transaction made through WEMP Token will support the WEMP Charity Wallet and women entrepreneurs. WEMP is here to stay. For more information, visit wemp.world. That's WEMP, WEMP.world.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
lot of information.
Yes. Jam-packed.
We've got Boca Brittany, the host of the Brit Summers Show, joining us today as well for a nice surprise pop-in visit. I always love when people pop in that are new to the studio and see how they get to interact when we're on commercial break. It's kind of cool.
Now, Boca Brittany is still going to be on Saturdays at 11:30.
So far, no changes.
No changes? Okay.
The Brit Summers Show.
I gave the Brit Summer Show. I gave Boca a piece to do for Sarah Spiritual, and she wants to thank you.
My pleasure.
You did a nice. I mean, the voice is amazing, and we have a few changes happening at the radio station again. Hopefully, not too big. We'll see.
Yeah,
We actually know the owner through a third party who is going to be here Friday.
Which is tomorrow.
Tomorrow to catch up.
Let's not be premature about it yet.
Well,
the way
listen,
things are going.
We've been doing this so long ago that nothing surprises me anymore.
No.
It's a business.
But I want to ask, when we go to commercial break, because you had not met Paul, you hadn't met Brittany before, what about this conversation, because you've done radio for many years, was intriguing to you?
Well, I was just asking him if it was possible, because you mentioned it earlier, if you could get your Medicare back from the Advantage plan.
Yeah.
And yes, it is a possibility. You know, there's certain, machinations involved with it, but just to know that, my sister, who is currently caring for my mother who has stage 7 Alzheimer's, and her husband, like an idiot, gave up their Medicare to Joe Namath and J.J. Walker. All the has-beens that are pitched. Yes. Right. So thanks to Paul, now I have a number to reach, person to contact. I'm going to forward it all to my sister, and they're going to, in-home HHA healthcare. Right now they're paying around the clock. It's $21,000 a month.
What?
Yes. See, my mother and her husband had a beautiful home up there, and he was caring for her, and he fell ill, can't care for the house or her now. So now I got this big house, which, by the way, was reverse mortgage.
But that's not bad.
It's okay,
we talk about that.
I love
they
this
manage.
conversation.
If it's done right, and
It works.
the money is used for the right reasons, I recommend reverse mortgages all the time.
Yes, give me a three-shot,
it
please.
worked out for them.
Okay.
They're going to make a tidy little profit.
Right.
But then again, if they can't switch it back to Medicare, that profit's going to be eaten up.
$21,000 a month. They could be in the Taj Mahal of places for that money.
That's 24/7 care, but they're moving my mother into my sister's house, and that's going to go back to $6,000 a month.
Where does your sister live, in Florida?
Prestigious Claremont, which is just north of Orlando. But yeah, definitely going to pass that information along to my sister. I'm glad I met Paul today.
Now, Paul, you can help within the state of Florida?
Correct.
Anywhere in
Yeah.
Florida.
Right. And like Boca Brittany didn't understand, which a lot of people don't understand,
Look mic closer.
is that Medicaid is not just for nursing homes. And somewhere from some years in the past, maybe it was just for nursing homes, but in the last bunch of years, I can help people get home care. So everybody wants to stay home. So let's start with home care up to 40 hours a week. And I say up to because it's based on the evaluation and how bad mom or dad is. And the state does the evaluations. We can get home care by really good home care agencies. They get paid by the state. They're happy to take it. And that's where people should start. So if you think that your loved one needs some type of assistance at home, give me a call and let's see if it's something that we can get for them. So let's start there. Now you're on Medicaid. And there's other benefits to Medicaid that I get into when I speak to them. But we could start there. And a lot of people then don't have to run to an assisted living. And a lot of people can't afford the assisted living because Medicaid's benefits for assisted living is a little bit compared to the needs, like my mom being in memory care and having dementia. So that little cost isn't always enough to push people to then hire me. Oh, that's not really enough. I said, okay, well, let's either start at home or call me when they go into the nursing home, and we can get that covered by Medicaid.
Isn't it so interesting, Boca Brittany? You said your mom and her husband had a very large house, which meant financially they were doing well.
At one point, yeah, not
Right,
anymore.
at one point. And now you look at we talk about this all the time. You have all of this lifetime of accumulating a beautiful life, and then what happens? You get ill, heaven forbid, and then all this money goes to paying for care. And now here you are looking at Medicare versus Medicaid options and living with your sister, which is going to have to be hard. Even on the best of circumstances, that's a hard move, living situation, right?
Well, my best advice to those of your viewers who are have elderly parents or parents that are going to reach the age for Medicare, tell them to tell Joe Namath to cox a hoist. Okay, they could shove it up there and forget it, because actually my roommate, her father, had a heart condition. Don't ask me what it was, but this particular heart condition wasn't in their network.
Wow.
The condition.
Am I right about that?
Yeah,
They'll say,
That's called the
I'm
condition.
very, very sorry, but it's not on our network. Now you must die.
Wow.
And that's what they did. He died because they wouldn't cover that one. So if you get sick, you get ill, you're hospitalized under Medicare Advantage, which is universal health care, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Which is also AARP, whatever it is.
AARP.
AARP is also universal health care. They're not there to help. They're there to steal your Medicare.
Did you know AARP was the same?
Yes.
Universal.
Yeah, they
they're
bought
saying?
AARP. It's
Interesting.
huge. It's huge. So when your elderly parents get ill, just make sure it comes under their menu of what their network covers. If it don't, they just flat out tell you to die.
Wow. Is your sister able to help take care of your mom?
Yes.
But stage 7 dementia, and I don't know the stages. Your mom's had
Yeah, I mean,
Alzheimer's
that's
for
pretty.
a long
I mean,
time.
it's up there too. I mean, my
Right?
mom's, I don't really. She's really never been officially diagnosed, like my dad never was before he passed away. It's just a known thing
If it
as
looks
they go
like
along.
a duck and quacks like a duck, right?
Correct. So whether it's actually Alzheimer's or dementia, there's different labels to put on it, but and then there's just different levels. Period. It's sad no matter what you do, and like my mom, I mean, she doesn't know who I am. So this learning experience, and again, thankfully for my parents, thankfully for other people that I had to go through this with my parents, and then I was able to navigate the system, get through the system, be able to do the applications that I needed to do, whether it was VA or Medicaid, and then protect their assets where I didn't have to then, I was able to make decisions for my mom. I didn't have to wait for the state to make decisions for me. It's not myself, my brother, my sister had to come out of pocket. We're good because I was able to do what I needed to do. Otherwise, if it was in the hands of my brother and sister, they would have blown through all their money, and I don't know where my mom.
Now, you told us if you knew then what you know now, the savings of your dad was.
Well, again, it wasn't so much even
Tremendous.
that. Yeah, it was hundreds of thousands of dollars, but
Right.
that was my mom.
Oh, your
and
mom,
and I was caught like a lot of people, like this appointment the other day. The daughter was feeling the guilt. All right, they had $40,000 or $50,000 left in the bank for their mom. Mom's bedridden. They're spending all kinds of crazy money around the clock. So we figured out they had 5 or 6 months maybe left of money. And then I said, okay, now what? And the daughter actually moved into with her mom. And now they're telling me they're having, the daughter and her husband are having marital problems because of money. And I said, okay, we have 2 options. We apply for Medicaid, let mom stay here, and we go for a reverse mortgage. We could have pulled out $250,000 to $300,000 out of the house to keep mom's wishes. Mom's wishes were to stay home. And the daughter hemmed and hawed, didn't agree with anything I said. Her husband did, and we got along well. The daughter's like, but mom wants this, and mom wants to do that. And I finally said, okay, I understand that, but where's the money going to come from? You're running out of money. And I started getting loud with sometimes because I get upset that they just don't get it. And I felt the guilt, just like everybody else feels the guilt on the right things to do. I let my mom spend their money to a certain point, and then I had to put my foot down saying, okay, I realize now you have no clue what you're doing and what you're gonna blow through, and we're gonna not have anything left. And that's kind of when I had to play hardball with my mom. And it's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing, especially if they're long distance, the family members, the sons and daughters, because they don't want to put their head in their sand, but their head is in the sand. And they're dealing with their own family and business and everything
That's
else
true.
going on.
Brittany, I guess that's the same thing that you and your sister are going through with your mom.
Yeah, only he had enough money to, her husband, the man who broke all his ribs when he fell down.
Yeah.
He was lucky. He had enough, but like Paul just said, it's not going to last long. So that's the big concern. And if they could get back on Medicare, that problem will be alleviated, which...
Yeah, and would take a lot. If you get more help in the house, it would help take off some of that pressure off of your sister also on the day in and the day out of caregiving.
Oh, yeah. You have to put, like, cameras in the room, like it's a baby, to have the speaker in there and everything, because it's just...
It's so difficult.
Caregivers end up dying before those that they're taking care of. I think there's
Absolutely.
a tremendous
there's statistics
percentage.
for that, absolutely.
Yep.
Tremendous percentage. That's why I say, give Paul a call and do your thing and check out where you're at. He's not going to make you or obligate you, except you're his sister, obligate you to do something. But it's always better, especially if you're a little bit up in the age, it's better now to know what you got, know how much you got, how much time you got, because bad plans end up bad ways. And when you run out of money, it gets really, really tough. I told you about what happened at IHOP, and they had that couple sitting in the next booth, and they went through the menu to spend $18 on dinner because they could not afford anymore, because he was talking about, we got your medication, now we're going to eat a little bit, we'll be okay for the next 2 or 3 days. It's crazy. So we got up and we paid for their meal without them knowing, and we left. And I said, whatever he wants. And we left some money. But that doesn't happen all the time. And when you're faced with a bad situation, it gets worse. It doesn't get better, especially as you get older and you don't have the options. So give Paul a call. Let him look over what you think is right. Have an open mind. See, this is what I would have told my dad. And my dad was a well-made dude. I mean, he worked very hard, and there were homes and everything else in Puerto Rico, and there was no plan. It took me a year and a half, took a year and a half of my life to get those houses back in shape. They're all rented now. But it's hard. It's been really, really hard. So.
Who's Senior Advisors? What is your phone number, Paul?
Phone number is 954-540-6609. You can email paulsolomonpa@gmail.com. You can always go online at luhuadvisors.com. And I offer to everybody a free consultation. So if you call me or email me, I will answer you. I even come to you if it's a situation where you want me to either meet the parents or not. It's always the power of attorney that I'd like to talk to make sure, A, the power of attorney is still good. A lot of people have old power of attorneys from other states, and it's not until somebody gets sick and they start needing to use them that they realize it's not good, and that could be too late, because once their competency goes down the hill, can't get a new power of attorney, and then here comes guardianship, and we don't want to go through that. So
it's amazing. It doesn't matter whether you're scheduled to come in and I don't have any other guests surrounding you. Someone comes in and everyone needs your help.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't matter who's sitting next to him.
Welcome
Someone
to
needs
Florida.
his help. That's exactly it.
My sister's moving down from New York.
Is
Did
she?
I tell you this? Yeah.
You told me she was moving somewhere else.
No, we had a big argument about here in Arizona. I says, I'm your brother. You come here. Yeah, but my daughter said, you leave your daughter alone. Your daughter has the rest of her life to worry about. You come down here, let me take care of you.
Nice.
So we'll see what happens. But she's another one that could use a conversation with Paul when she gets down here. There isn't anybody I know that couldn't. It's just a fact. It's a real fact. So.
And the Brit Summer Show, Saturday evenings at 11:30.
And thebritsummershow.com.
And thebritsummershow.com
Maybe we
for the
could steal-
unedited versions of it.
Steal her on a night, maybe on a Monday at 6 or a Tuesday, and she could change the demographic a little bit.
Sounds good.
I think I have some fun with it.
All right, let's wrap this up. Thank you all for joining us. Check out this book from Gabby B. Gabby B. and her new school adventures and Kids Safe. If you are looking for some curriculum to incorporate teaching your kids the triggers to look out for, and for some free curriculums for parents and for educators, you can go to kidsafefoundation.org. We got a full show lined up for you, full rack of shows tonight, so stay tuned to WNN and the Amp Media Network, and we will see you later.
Don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Broken Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.
There was a noise from somewhere deep. We heard the sound, it was bittersweet. Voices calling out from an aching heart, getting so much closer. We're staying apart, singing a song of hope and love that we you heard when I heard. I feel what you feel. We will survive. We will stay strong. Love is the word, and hope is the song. The streets are empty, but the sky is clear. You want somebody and can't have them near. Taking shelter where you can when the world is at stake. Alone together, trying hard not to break. Singing a song of hope and love that we hear. You heard when I heard. I feel what you feel. We will survive. We will stay strong. Love is the word.